welcome back to Navigating Neva. I'm your host, Neva Nicole, with
Wesley King.
who is my wonderful co-host. And this week we are talking about what's making waves in aquatics this week. 'Cause we're deep into the aquatic season. If you're not in aquatics, now you know the secret. That's where we're at this week. And we thought we'd kick the week off with letting you know about our All Things Aquatic event.
It's happening, right? St. Simon's Beach, September 20th. We've got our new podcast out. Go on Spotify, find our page, check it out. We've got our vendor list out. We've got our sponsors out. We've got our speakers out. And the word's happening. Registration's open.
Registration is open. If you're
Is open.
online, the QR code's up on the screen.
Absolutely. And if you are not, find Nicole and I anywhere on social media and we will get it to you. And people are signing up. People are excited about it. And now's the time, right, Nicole, while we continue to self-plug because what's happening soon? Yeah, right. We've got our next
soon
wave.
is the price is going up. So when does it go up?
2 weeks from now. You're gonna catch me on dates. This is not good. See, people always get gimmies. When is the last day? June 19th.
Yes.
June 19th. Because why do I know that? I'm taking my son to his first Cubs game for his birthday that date, which is why I can't think about aquatics that date. But to your point, as we announce more vendors and more sponsors and more speakers, like Rudy Stankiewicz and his Mentor of the Year program, and Natalie Hood and more, we're going to charge more and more people are going to attend. And so get your name in and get your registration spot finalized and reserved so that you can get the best price points.
Yeah. Yeah. And while we're at it, I'll just plug, we're doing it at St. Simon's Island, which is a tourist town or a vacation town for a lot of people. So this isn't your normal conference where all the aquatic people are in there together. We're expecting you guys to bring your family and come and enjoy St. Simon's Island and have your family vacation here. So you guys might not stay at the conference center. You might stay in an Airbnb or your in-laws or rent a condo.
And you can hear the beach from where we're going to be chatting. My kids are looking up videos of saying, "Is that the beach?" I said, "That's the beach." Is that where the conference is? That's where the conference is. So to your point is, yes, we're making a family trip. My wife is a full-time swim instructor and runs her own business. So obviously we're doing it after Labor Day. That's why we chose the date September 20th. And if you're not local, and if you don't have a family, make the trip anyway and get to know everybody because that's why we're doing this, right? And the last note on this is the why. Why are we doing it? So we can bring anybody and everybody that's listening to this, that's not listening to this, under one roof, from lifeguards, swim instructors, certified pool operators, water aerobics instructors, you name it. That's why we're all getting under one tent to do all things aquatics together. So that's what we're at.
Well, on my announcements, last week on the show, we had Jose Gallagher, right? And
absolutely, we did.
Yeah. What did he talk about?
Well, not only what did he talk about, his dual boards, but real quick shout out, Jose helped us really spike some numbers. So you heard me brag last week with over 5,000 downloads. We did great downloads and great listening. So keep sharing it, keep telling the story because of these coaches. And Jose's tool, the dual board, came into real play, right, Nicole? What did you learn about the dual boards? What experience did you have with it?
Well, I learned a ton on the podcast, even though this wasn't the first time I met Jose. He did an interview. He interviewed me for his dual boards.
Oh, fantastic.
And I found out about him that way, and I was excited. And he said he'd send me a pair, and the pair came right after the podcast. So that was great. So I'm going to share with you guys the clip of the dual boards in action. Not only did they make it here, these are mine. This is not his photo. This is my photo at my pool. And if you guys follow me on TikTok, I'm going to show you what's up there on my TikTok. When I met you in the summertime sadness, so that little boy, I had him last year and he wasn't putting his face in. This year he's putting his face in, and he did so well because he had the dual boards. But what I think is great about him, my swim coach just called yesterday. And she said, all my kids are underwater. And I was like, oh my gosh, go listen to Jose's episode last week. So if you guys didn't hear it, it was the May 28th. So if you're on Spotify or Apple, it's on the May 28th episode, which is last week's with Jose. But I said, make him do this.
Yes, the video, the letters, the H and the I's and the J's. I learned my alphabet.
Yeah, but the biggest thing for, I guess, our listeners is I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but on a kickboard, the board stays together. When you have two separate boards or Jose's dual boards, you have to put the boards together. And by putting the boards together, that engages your core muscles more and that helps with your strength. So if you're like my swim coach and your kids are swimming under the water, it's nice to incorporate these to help lift them up higher.
Absolutely. So much knowledge. And again, I think that's why we're expanding our audience, right? Now we've got swim coaches listening, we've got operators listening, because that's what our intention is. And having guests like Jose was so valuable, and his product is so helpful as well.
It is, and they
Absolutely.
go and get them on Amazon. So I recommend everybody should get a pair. Tell me what you like.
Absolutely. And to that point, as we think of the timeliness of what we're doing, May was National Water Safety Month. And I think there's a couple big events coming up and things for the next few weeks, right?
Yeah, so this week we have CPR week. So it's not National CPR week, it's just CPR week. It's always the first week of June. So this week it's June 1st through the 7th, which is always the first week. But everybody promotes it. So I pulled up some images here. The American Heart Association has a thing all over the internet or yeah, social networking if you're checking there. And then the Red Cross, they did their tagline, the worst thing you can do is nothing. So make sure you learn CPR. Wes, what do you have for us?
Well, and I think that's a great message, right? I mean, I've learned CPR since I was 16 and I'm 40. So some do some good math there. From hands-on CPR to in-water CPR to watching the show The Office and learning how Dwight learned CPR, right? To,
I
if
mean,
I'm not
everybody.
mistaken, I think Texas Hold'em from the Queen Bee Beyonce. If you play that song rhythmically, somebody on social media talked about how that could be for CPR. If you have ever wondered what those three letters stood for, have ever taught it, have ever put your hands clasped together over someone's chest and said, "This is where your hands go." If you've ever heard a twig break in the forest, all of these things bring back PTSD, bring back triggers. If you're listening to this, I'm sure you've got your own analogies. The takeaway is take it serious. The takeaway is it's 1 week long, but there's materials, there's information out there, and just talk about it. Just put it out there so that your staff does something that and doesn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I know that was a long-winded ramble, but there's just so much to be done with CPR. I think the takeaway is get involved, get engaged with it.
Yeah, so two things. I went to a local karate place last week, which was still May for National Water Safety Month. We have a nonprofit and we were raising money for it. So I didn't do hands-only CPR. I also didn't do a CPR certification course. I showed all the parents and kids in karate the drowning CPR, which there's no trick there. It's just the breaths. The breaths that we took away, we put back in because you need breaths in those
You
situations.
need breaths.
So I did that, and that was great. But for the city, we are going to do safety Saturdays, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to talk about the National Drowning Alliance. We're going to talk about their drowning.
NDPA, sure. Yeah.
So
Uh,
instead of hands only, that's what we're doing for the summer months at our pool.
to your point, and this will allow us to tag and connect with all the fire departments in the state of Illinois. If you live in Illinois, all my Illinois audience, at least in the north side of Chicago, every fire department, every county offers free CPR once a month, right? So if you're in Niles, if you're in Schaumburg, you can literally bounce around, and each fire department, one a month, will offer free CPR. And you can bounce around all the suburbs. So if your staff doesn't have CPR, if they don't know where to get it, call your local fire department. If they're not offering CPR this month, the one right down the street in the next town over is offering free CPR this month. It's in the state of Illinois, and call your state to get it as well. And then another, to Nicole's point, then you connect with your fire department and have them involved in this safety plan. Oh my gosh, look how well this works out.
I did. So
That's what I have on CPR.
that's a bunch of stuff. So
Yep.
we're gonna call to action everybody listening. You should go find CPR. Bonus, if you share it with Wes and I, we can put it on the Navigating Neva page so that all of our listeners then know where to find it in their area. So if you're not in Georgia and you're not in Illinois, tell us your secrets and we'll list them for our listeners. But if you're
Yeah,
directors, manager of management, I would challenge you to use Beyonce's song and practice CPR this week for in-service training. Now you got your
absolutely.
playlist. Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point of connecting the world, we don't care if you're American Heart, we don't care if you're Red
Nope.
Cross. We're going to share this to both of those and then some.
Yeah.
And that's what we encourage you to do is really have that open mindset. And speaking of open, there's no segue there. I also understand that it's National Swimming Week. There's some I'm going to say it wrong. The Katie Ledecky is swimming in the National Competitive Swim this week, if I'm not mistaken. Help me, Nicole. What is happening?
So we're
There
going
we
to
go. Thank
shout
you.
out to Team USA. The swimmers are crushing it at nationals right now. So
Yes,
we're watching our elite swimmer, which is Katie Leckety. She's
Ledecky.
Yep, she's gonna find us and tell me that I don't know how to pronounce it. So she's making a huge impact on the next generation, which this is inspiring, and it reminds us that these foundational programs, like me teaching the little kids how to swim with Jose's dual boards, it's important because they're a launch pad to get you into your team and to get us to our USA swimmers.
And this is why this is why we should always freestyle because we get to laugh at Wes trying to think of things to go in state. But we're hosting the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles. Our mutual friend Jamal Hill is a Paralympian and is helping on the planning committee of that. And his organization, um, uh, Swim Uphill, is doing a bunch of fundamental programming out there, as well as our friends Underwater Hypoxia and Britt Jackson, who work with Michael Phelps, just presented with the Medical Fitness Association. My point is, it's a never ending cycle. If you pick up Step Into Swim, you pick up Pool Shark H2O. If you pick up Katie Ledecky, you pick up drowning prevention. And that's what we want people to understand, that these national elite swimmers are that for a reason because they started somewhere. They got involved with the swim program. They got involved with water safety. Real quick, to your point, Nicole, of watching the Olympics and connecting with your team, it was 2008. My team and I stayed after some god awful hour of running a Saturday night indoor water park, going through hell and high water on a small TV, like 14 lifeguards, smelly and sweaty and hot at 2 in the morning, watching Michael Phelps swim. And I will never forget, everybody was still in their swimsuits. We had to stay open in the water park at night, and all of us sat around. But that's what this type of experience can bring, even in the trials and even in the practice. So anyway, those are my recognition of those events and my encouragement to get involved.
Love that, but I wanted to
So
bring that around since we're in all things aquatics. Why won't Jamal Hill be at our event?
great because he is will be competing. I believe in Paris. Don't quote me. Across the seas for the trials for the Paralympics while we are hosting September 20th. So he'll be supporting us remotely, and we'll be hoping to do more promotions and connections with him on that day itself. Absolutely great recall.
And
Thank you.
for those listening, I know some towns sometimes struggle with swim teams or people leave and people aren't filled right away and then a new person comes in and they're kind of confused. So I just wanted to say USA Swimming, you pay and you're part of the team, but if you do a summer league, you don't have all of those bigger check boxes that your coach has to coach. So I know there's somebody that hopefully is listening and they don't have a team right now, but we swim and we're just a little team. So I mean, obviously my people have standards, so we do check their background and we do do all those. But all of the stuff for USA Coaching is a little in depth. One of our guests called me to ask how to get on there because they do want all of that safety stuff. But getting through those hoops is easier for your summer league. So to help get these swimmers to where
Yes.
they want to be one day, you guys can start a summer USA Swim league. And if it's just that summer league, the recreational side,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't have to have all of those huge scary things that sometimes take a little bit more to build up or things to get because it's kind of like applying for a military job. You're like, how many more things do you need me to get?
I'm only open from Memorial Day to Labor Day, right? What? And so again, to our Midwest audience, for those of you that think you might not be able to get to this level or participate at that level, take Nicole's advice and take it seriously and look how you can make modifications so you can achieve those swim level and swim teams and get them coordinated. And then taking one step back, Nicole, I know you've had some great success with your own Joyful Waters program way before we get to a swim team.
Right.
Let's take few steps back to take a few steps forward. You want to share with the audience about how that's been going and all the progress you made there?
Yeah, well, so I'll start at the beginning. Joyful, the whole theme of navigating Neva is, as Wes knows, I like to share what's already out there. So first, if somebody else made this, I apologize, but I like to scour the globe, not just the United States, for material that can be used. And the reason Joyful Waters came about is I did exactly that. I even got trained through Worldwide Swim School, which is a lot of Lori Lawrence's material, but it still wasn't what we needed for the United States or the culture that we have. So I've created this great program. I love it. I've been teaching it for 3 years now. And I made this book that you guys are all welcome to get. You can be a parent and you can get it. You can be a director for an aquatic facility and you can get it, or you can be a backyard swim school and you can get it. The point is, I'm not gatekeeping it. I'm sharing it with the world. The book that you guys see on screen, if you're watching, is our manual. So it basically tells you how to do the whole class. So you can get this book. I know a lot of times people get certified and they're like, okay, well, now what do I do? How do I
Now
teach?
what do I do? Yeah.
Right. So not only does this give you the why and the why a little bit deeper, there's a course workbook that comes with it. And if the parent is just buying it and doing it themselves without finding an instructor, there's a parent, like a baby journal. So as you're going through the 6 week program, that's what you get. But I worked with a tutor from the UK and she helped me write the curriculum, but I designed it for the culture in America. And it's a 3 format way. You can get it and you can teach it in a group lesson, so you can still do your parent-child classes, but you're using these concepts. You can teach it kind of more like what we're familiar with the drowning survival, where it's one teacher with all the kids, or one teacher with one kid, one teacher with one kid. So the one teacher with one kid, it's just like you think it would be. It's a short lesson because they're little, they're babies, but it meets frequently, 3 to 5 times a week. And then the last way we do it is, you're a parent and you can't commit to that. Hand me your kid, and I will just master the material. And as we master it, we move forward. So that's a slower process, but sometimes you get parents and they just can't get to the pool 3 to 5 times a week because of their schedule. And we didn't want to deter you. We want you to still love and respect the water, but long-winded here. Joyful Waters was created because I find adults who are still fearful and afraid, or I find older kids who just don't have an enjoyment for the water. So this is a
Mm.
starting foundation, and I'm not redoing Red Cross or YMCA or any of those. You go into those after this. So this is before that. This is kind of an addition or a second avenue to parent-child, but it's
Hmm.
it's directly for ages 6 months to crawling, and then crawling or walking to 3. And it's helping them on all planes: vertical, horizontal, face up, face down, and you're just finding them where they are developmentally, meeting them, and then guiding them where they want to go. So everything is trauma free and child led.
Wow. First of all, I hope that's recorded. We know it is. It's phenomenal. When Shark Tank calls, we'll just cut and paste that.
Yeah.
I had a program called Aqua Babies where it did some of the remedial components of what you're talking about, songs and games. And what I love hearing you talk, and I can listen to it all day, but I'm an aquatic nerd, is two components really. The joyful part is the instillment and the baseline of this is fun, it's joy, it's happy, and we're going to act like that. We're going to live it. We're going to breathe it. But also, I think the great thing too, Nicole, is you've taken what you do in practice and put it on paper.
Mhm.
And I think there's a lot of people listening. And I know I work with a lot of people, and I hope to work with a lot more people that have taught some lessons, that believe in what you're saying and that live it, but maybe can't account for it on the pool deck. Maybe can't show a parent their Red Cross stamp, or maybe don't have their card from their certification in their wallet. And a parent says, "What are you teaching? Where does this come from?
Right.
Why are you doing it this way? Tell me more." Well, this book, like you have just sitting on a pool deck, or your laminated sheets, and it could be any laminated sheets. I love yours. My wife uses yours, right? We use Miss Dana's stuff. The point is when you as an instructor take ownership of your information, or you use value added materials, or you use content and you show the families and you show the parents with great pride, this is what I'm teaching. This is my platform. This is who I follow. This is what I believe in. This is the content that I use to create my swim lessons or help me create my swim lesson. What parent is going to look at this book and go, "Nah, I'm okay"? What parents could, you know what? I want unhappy water. Give me that. So again, whether you use this or something else, and again, I'll glowfully plug Nicole, but put your own stuff on your pool deck. Put your materials up when you show up. Put your banner up when you walk into a pool, if you're renting a pool, if you're in a backyard pool. My point is, take pride in where you get your resources because you're doing a good job. Don't hide behind, an internet stamp. Well, if it's internet stamp, definitely hide behind it. But don't hide behind your resources is my point. And I think Nicole's got a great one. And seeing them on pool decks and seeing them on chairs and seeing parents having them in their hands just reaffirms your approach and your mindset. So again, very proud of you and excited to see the world have access to this information.
Thanks.
And
So
eh,
on that note, on the world having
yeah, there
access,
you go. Tell us
yeah,
more. Yeah.
into our next one. So this is a save the date, and this is not me and Wes's All Things Aquatic event. If you guys were listening to our podcast a few weeks ago, we had Helen on from across the pond, and she's the owner, or she has many water adventures, and her and I are teaming up together. So we're doing a workshop with certifications. Wes and I are doing a networking, back scratching, hugging, fist bumping, team building aquatic thing. Helen and I are doing if you want to come get certified and learn more, we're opening up a workshop to you. So it will be Helen with her Orca workshop and me with my Joyful Waters. It's November 15th and 16th. It is in Florida, but Florida's pretty big. It's 100 miles north of Miami, and where our host is the Treasure Coast YMCA, which is where I came from.
Very specific too. And again, to help the audience understand, this podcast is going to lead you to several great things. If you're a constant listener, or if you're brand new, you've already heard us backtrack to Jose, now backtracking to Helen, bringing the All Things Aquatics event on September 20th, which leads us to middle of November, right? If you're a swim instructor, if you have current certifications, if you're in and around Florida and you just want to be better at providing education and content and quality instruction to your students, November, don't hold me on the date again. I'm still on June 19th. November 11th. What was the date again? Nicole,
Our
say
date
it.
is
15th and 16th.
15th and the 16th. Yep.
15th and 16th. Thank you. And again, tell your friends to listen to this podcast because as you've heard, this is going to grow and grow, whether you're an instructor, whether you're an operator. So just today, we've revisited Jose, revisited Helen, and we've added another thing to your calendar in late November for Thanksgiving. So and now let's not forget what's left in June. Sorry, Nicole, go back.
Oh, you're fine. So our bringing our week in review to an end.
Yes.
Prevention Week is coming up. So we talked about Water Safety Month. We talked about CPR, which is the first week of June. June 14th through the 21st is Drowning Prevention Week. But you guys can do whatever you want, and please tag us and tell us what you are doing.
Absolutely.
Love to see what you're doing. But we wanted to bring up June 26th. June 26th is the world's largest swimming lesson. And if you've never participated in this, you totally should. So you would think that they pay me to pitch this. I don't. Anytime we get on social media and somebody asks about it, I'm like, word vomit and share everything that I've ever done. So you can charge. You don't have to. I used to like to not charge, and depending on some of the organizations I was at, we did have to charge for people to come in. So we would just make that a registration fee or a one-time sign-up fee, and the lesson was still free. So you can do that. Or if you're paying, percentages to somebody, maybe they have to pay that fee, and that's a registration fee, and then you can participate. But the world's largest swimming lesson is always the same day every year, and they collect the numbers. So you get to go into the book a world record for how many lessons were taught in one day.
If somebody posts on social media anonymously and asks, how can I get my community involved in swim lessons? I'm probably going to punch Facebook because this is your answer. If you don't know what to do this summer and are struggling to get your community involved, just do this thing. It's free, like Nicole said, or it can be charged if you like. But there are so many people doing so many great things on this day. You're almost insulting our industry if you don't at least look into it. I'm not trying to be facetious. It's late. I'm going on vacation with my family for 5 days tomorrow. But the point is it's okay to just follow along, steal what other people are doing. Stevie Wonder could find on Facebook stuff about this day because everybody posts about it. It's an easy win. It's an easy engagement. I don't get paid to sell this stuff and promote it. We should, Nicole, for all the things we've talked about today. The homework assignment is to remember all the dates and share it. And you get a prize if you do. The prize is you get to learn more about aquatics. The point being is this is what aquatics is about. Free, connecting, sharing, borrowing, and doing something that impacts lives. That's just it.
Yeah. If you are in a management level, I will tell you when you register, I'm not going to get the lady's name. wrong and butcher it for you guys, but the woman is a wonderful lady that will help you through everything. And there's marketing
Yes.
material on here. And people like me can help you, but she can help you too. I did my event for free so that we got more marketing, like the radio and the
Bingo.
newspaper would share it if it was free. Again, you don't have to make it free. You can charge money. They don't give you any rules, but they do have
Right.
great swag. So they have bags, they have hats, they have bracelets, and your team can participate in this day. And you can do one lesson during the day, or you can do a lesson every 30 minutes. Your involvement is what you want. So it's
Bingo.
not like a crazy thing. But if you are doing it, like Wes said, you're going to be tagged everywhere because everybody is
Everybody.
on the same
I
day
mean,
worldwide, the whole world. So
there's
that's
such thing as I'm not afraid of peer pressure, right? This is not the Dare T-shirt program. I'm
right.
okay. This is peer pressure. It's okay to have it. If your friend has a bigger truck than you, get on board and get the world swim lesson so you have a bigger truck than them. That's not, don't be ashamed of it. It's coming.
I am so sorry.
That's okay. We people are probably tired of us plugging other people's things. So
They are. They are. But we're still taking guests. We are full all the way
yes,
through October, November. So we do get your invites and we absolutely take them. Wes and I are always here. We might do one of these every few weeks so that we can just touch base, wrap up with what's going on. Maybe we should do one at the end of the summer. This is right in the beginning of the nitty gritty stuff.
I'm in. There's a lot of content here, a lot of information, but our intention was to do that. That's why we kind of took a break from the guests to kind of get everybody reset. Where's your head at? How are you feeling for the next few weeks? Can you engage your team? And if you need more help and support, it's out there. And there's a lot of cool things going on, including September 20th, including November 15th and 16th, and all those good things.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to sign off, guys. Thank you for coming back and listening. Please don't forget to like, share, and follow. But that's how we grow, and that's what we appreciate. Have a great night, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Thanks, everybody.